Good morning. My name is NonyasisChat, and I'm here to do a mashup of skits and comments. But this, we're going to focus on skits. In Kountry Wayne's Skitland, we've got a married couple. The husband started an affair with the wife's best friend. Period. The wife had an affair during their engagement. Period. Let's set it straight. Let's set the record straight. An engagement is not a marriage. And until you go before God and make that covenant, you are only boyfriend and girlfriend. Was the wife wrong? Absolutely. If you cheat on your girlfriend or your boyfriend, are you wrong? Yes. Then we're going to leave that engagement where it belongs, outside of the marriage. The husband didn't know about this until his mistress told him so that she could make him stay and be mad at his wife. Point taken. Now there's a baby. The husband has yet to take accountability. He's gone for 22 months of, at the time, a 2-year marriage. He's not been with his wife. He's been with his mistress. Okay? Has he taken accountability for it yet? No. So he decides to come home to hide his money. His wife had found her peace and accepted this and filed for a divorce. She loved her husband. She wanted the white picket fence and the children. The husband and the mistress destroyed that woman's world. So she separated. There was no divorce. No divorce. None. Nada. She opened that door and she let that man back in with no boundaries. Now, let me ask you this. If you have a wife and you go home and she's gracious enough to let you back in and you're only there to hide your money, why not divorce your wife? Because you know you're wrong and you know you're going to lose. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Keep it 100. She let him back in. Did he act like a loving, doting husband? No, he absolutely did not. Because he didn't come back for her. He came back for his mansion, his money, the image of a beautiful wife. And she tried to cater to him even after that whole 22 months. That last year, which brings us into the 3rd year, the man hardly spoke to her. That's how many years of neglect? How many is that? Okay? Now, the wife hadn't done anything. I get comments about Kelvin and Victor and whoever. Even Wayne tried her again. But she didn't do anything sexual with these men. Where's her adultery during her marriage before Dave? Where? Okay. She met Dave in March of 2026. She asked her husband for a divorce in January. Look at the film dates. She had on a burgundy leather suit, and Danielle told her he was hiding his money. And she went home and she told him, I want a divorce. That was the first of 5 mentions of the divorce in total. But on the 4th one is about the time she met Dave, the person she's in an affair with now. Check the film dates. Check the chronicles that people have put out there. She filed for a divorce shortly after she met Dave. Now, this woman asked in January. Let's not get it twisted, okay? Wayne has thrown so much spaghetti on the walls that people are not seeing what they're seeing. And that's okay by me. I am a married woman. I've been divorced. I've been married. And I am married now. Yeah. So, am I a little, not heated, but concerned about American views? I am an American. I am a Black sister. And there's no way I'd put up with Anthony's foolishness. But I'm not a basher. I'm not going to bash Anthony. I'm not going to bash Amber. And some people may, maybe not. I mean, there's a million people out here, millions, I should say, of people. I said Dave might be a godsend for Amber and Anthony's marriage. Yes, I said that. I've commented that. I did. Now, he possibly could be. We don't know yet. We're not there. But let's leave that for a minute. The Dave and Amber / Anthony, Shayla, Kai, Denisha. Oh, the husband's in affair number 2 and moved his girlfriend into the mansion because the wife found somebody else and she still lives at the mansion and she filed for the divorce. It's already filed. And Wayne comes up with some legally separated nonsense, but that's okay. It's Skitland, right? But when I say Skitland life versus real talk, this is real talk. Let's talk vow renewal. If you are already married and you have a vow renewal, that doesn't change the date on your marriage certificate. It's ceremonial. It doesn't start the clock over again on your marriage. I see that all the time. Oh, but the vow renewal. You didn't get a divorce, so you didn't get remarried. You renewed your vows. That's a ceremony. That's a ceremony because you're already married. You think they're going to give you a new marriage certificate with a new date? No, they don't. I know because I've done it. This is America, and this is how it's done. Now, the Bible does say, and you can go look it up, especially in the book of Matthew. The Bible says the husband commits adultery. The Bible gives the woman permission to get a divorce. Well, of course, we know all lands have their laws, okay? But the overall guiding light is the word. Let's keep that right there. Anthony is supposed to be the head of the household who leads the wife and the children. The woman is supposed to be the one of wisdom. All the people who know the Bible, I have yet to hear one of them say anything about the husband being the cause. It didn't say the wife. The husband being the legal entity for a divorce to happen. But again, that's in the biblical realm, and we're talking everyday Americans in 2026 and whatever our law of the lands are, because that's what we have to go by, because we are citizens of America. I don't know what other countries do, but these people live in America, in fantasy skitland, as I like to call it. And then we've got Amber, who's going to need to take accountability for Dave, right? Dave's the perfect match for her. except that he is a pastor's kid dating a woman who is in the midst of a divorce action. And we all know that's wrong, so we're not even going to dwell on that. But where's Anthony's accountability? Where's Shayla's accountability? And is that Kai's daddy? We're not going to go there either, because this parentage is questionable. Mama's baby, Papa's maybe. Kai would have been born at 7 months. Okay, I'm going to drop that right there. Check the film dates. Check the dates. Okay, anyway, next thing. There was a skit of Amber and Dave on the pier in Los Angeles. I live in California. So that pier where they were, Dave mentioned outside voices. What did we see yesterday? Coco. We've got Anthony. We've got Ernestine. We've got all the people. But how many people has he told about the divorce because he's embarrassed? He doesn't lose, as he likes to put it. And then we've got Wayne, the main mischief maker, other than Shayla, in their marriage. He was in their marriage. I'm just going to say the separation part. All throughout the marriage, he's throwing rocks and trying to hit on Amber. Trying to hit on Amber. But he's the man she had the affair with before, Before, before the marriage happened. And let's take it back a little bit further. Let's not forget Roe's wedding. Because, see, Anthony still wanted Roe, but he couldn't have her. Amber went and begged her husband. This is the beginning of their marriage, the very beginning. He's in another woman's house. Let's not forget that. But then I hear about Kelvin and Victor, and there was nothing with Amber and those men. An emotional connection, maybe? That's not adultery. So please, I watch every skit and I listen to every line, and I might watch them 3 or 4 times because I need to do my content reviews, right? So Dave, while at the pier, was talking to Amber after the visit with the mother and the sister and the ex-girlfriend, all of that. And he was talking to Amber. And Dave wants to marry Amber. And he said he is willing to wait. And right now, it's the 2 of them. They are not married. They are not engaged. And either can walk away at any time. The woman needs to get strengthened again and get back to being her whole self. Because Anthony beat her down to a pulp while she was trying to be a, quote, perfect wife. He wants to keep her, make her stay with him by taking all the money, even the sale of the bar. But the woman is not broke in her own right. And here he's hiding his money and, no, I'm not going to give you a divorce. Why not? Why? Because you're the devil? Is that why? You want to just torture this woman? Oh, I know. It's because of the 50%. In equitable states, the 50-50 rule is just a negotiating starting point because it's supposed to be equal, and you go in asking 50-50. You negotiate. Constance, get this divorce moving. Because now I'm starting to question you. Why is it taking so long for you to do anything? Where's the mediation? Or negotiation? Whichever word you choose to use. Where is it? Set that woman free. Let that man go and be with Denisha. His affair number 2. He moved that woman into another woman's home. We don't care that the deed is in his name. That is the marital home. There is such a thing as a marital home. And in the marital home, the husband and the wife, that is their home together while they are married. The spouse brought another woman, and it looks like she's going to be living there. And you know what the divorce courts say? And you know why I know? Because I worked and wrote computer programs for divorce courts and law enforcement. Do I do any of that now? No. Am I a counselor? No. But when I tell you that the courts will nail him because he has taken away the freedom for that wife to come home to a peaceful environment. The courts frown on that. But he doesn't know. He doesn't care. He didn't tell his lawyer, like he never does, because he knows he's doing wrong. So be mad at the woman. Fine. But let's not dismiss this husband who started it way back with Shayla. And now there's a baby Kai. That's affair number 1 of this little raggedy marriage. And now the wife, because she's lost, she's lonely, she's hurt, she's broken, she's getting bashed left and right. Because how dare a woman do what men do? No, it doesn't make it right. It's still wrong. It's wrong. But all this noise about, oh, she did this, she did that. What did he do? Who's the culprit in starting all of this mess? Anthony. Put the blame where it belongs. It belongs on Anthony. So, the comments about Amber cheating and this and that, what about Anthony cheating? How about we talk about that? How about it? How about we talk about Anthony, affair number 1, who got this party started? Yeah, he did. Let's not let these skits twist our minds, because they are twisting a lot of minds. Even the people who know the Bible, even their minds are all fuzzy. It's called clickbait. I mean, click it. I don't care. But I'm just here because when I see it and I do these reviews and I watch these skits and I watch the way they're being written, they're skits. However, they are based on real life. When I get comments that say, is this how Black Americans act? No, it is not. It's not. Not across the board, but you are free to do what you want to do in your home. But we are governed by laws. If your state doesn't care, then oh well. Right? So, before you keep attacking this woman, just think about, how did this party really get started? And has that husband taken any accountability yet? Before you say, well, where's her accountability? Where's his? No, let's whitewash him and the mistress and make them look like, oh my goodness, they've never done anything wrong. They destroyed this marriage. Destroyed it. And they have yet to take any accountability. When the wife asks, they say, why do you keep talking about the past? Because there's a little baby, number 1, running around. How can she not? And now there's a woman living in that house that wife is still a resident of, but can't go home because there's another woman. Oh, she could go home and probably get in trouble because there's some woman laying up in her house like she's now the wife. Denisha is a mistress Anthony is losing his mind and he's going to lose all his money because the man has no clue whatsoever about life. And this is what happens when we don't know our city laws, our state laws, our federal laws, or we listen to all the noise in the air, but we don't check for ourselves. Check for yourself before you get married and see what your government says about a marriage in your locale. Okay? So, believe me, don't believe me, I'm just an American wife who's been married twice and divorced and had a vow ceremony. And my state is not much different than the state that Skitland is in. They're very similar. So let's not, at least think about it. At least think about it. If you want to be mad at the wife, be mad at the wife. But don't take the blame off the husband as the starter of all this mess and this little raggedy marriage. And when a woman has to run away from her home because you're calling her every kind of name in the book because you can't get over the fact that your so-called best friend is the man that was having an affair with your girlfriend at the time. And he's still messing around. And the wife finally tells the husband, while the new girlfriend is roaming around in her house, that Wayne pursued her all through the engagement. Since y'all like to talk about the engagement, she finally told her husband, this is what your so-called friend is doing behind your back. And he still wants this woman. Wayne still wants Amber. So he plays both sides because he's got a forked tongue, and this is Skitland, right? He's on Amber's side because he wants Amber. Oh, but when Anthony comes around, oh, we're just business partners. She was with Wayne. And she married Anthony. And when she did that, she left Wayne alone. But can Wayne leave her alone? It's the double standard. It's messing in someone's marriage. And I, again, am married. Am I passionate about this storyline? I am. Is it sickening? It is. Will I go away? No. Let's see. Do I have anything else I want to talk about? I think that pretty much covers it other than outside voices. The wife needs to let go of Coco, who is Anthony's cousin. Keep her out of your business. Keep everybody out of your business. Yeah, keep them out. And that applies to anybody. Keep people out of your hula hoop, out of your bubble. And Dave did tell Amber this. So right now it's Dave and Amber against the world. This woman who tried to be the perfect wife, but she married the devil. So I do think Dave is some kind of godsend. Would I like to see her married to him? I absolutely would, because she's been beat down and beat down and beat down time after time after time. Because sometimes when you have basically a good heart, people will step on it. Is she quirky? Is she gullible? But who's not? Who of us can be the first to cast a stone? Make sure before you get married, you understand the laws of your locale and what can be done and not done. Because if it goes the way that it's going, and when the lawyer for the wife finds out that there's another woman propped up in that house, maybe that'll get the ball rolling. Because we noticed Amber didn't tell the attorney, and that was by design because this is Skitland, so we need storylines, right? But anyway, with that said, I'm going to leave this video, but please think before you get married. Please think before you have a bachelor party, so you're not looking at the same kind of situation, because Anthony was trying to go to bed at his bachelor party with the police, and he ended up going to jail. We are all flawed. But if we want to place blame, place the blame where it goes, and the appropriate blame. Not everybody is willing to go with the double standard of, oh, the man can do what he wants, but the woman can't. Not every woman thinks that way. This is not the 1800s. This is not the biblical times, but the Bible still governs. In our spirits, the Lord will give us grace, or we can feel the wrath. This is NonyasisChat. Please like, share, and subscribe. If I missed something, there's a lot in these skits. So have a good day, and I'll see you at the next skit review. And let's not forget that Anthony set it up that he would be in the bed that Amber sleeps in when she came home from her boyfriend's house. Yeah, from her boyfriend's house. Because she's got an affair going now, but that's still her home. And he's laying there, and he's waiting for her to get home. And then he puts this evil grin on his face. So what if she didn't? That'll be her burden to carry if she gets in trouble for not coming home at night to deal with this man who calls her all kinds of nasty names and just makes her life hell. So much so that he grabbed her arm, which is, these are abuses, and then she slapped him. That's physical abuse. So you got all this going on, and then he sets it up so she can walk in on him with a woman in the bed. She's not intimate with her husband anymore. It haven't been for months. Let's not forget the storyline.